Hi guys, in this video we will be creating a simple API with get request, post request and delete request, and we will be testing the API with the help of Postman. Okay, let's get started. Uh, First of all, we need to create an empty folder. In my case, I have created an empty folder. Next, we need to create a package.json file. To create a package.json file, we can use npm init. That will be creating an package.json file in our folder, and we can specify the name of the package.json, and package name will be same, and version as default one. Description Fastify. In my case, I use Fastify. If you want, you can do any other thing also, and entry point will be like app.js, and let's leave all those as default one. And next, we need to install our dependencies. Okay, first of all, in our case the dependencies are two things, um, nodemon and fastify. To install them we can use npm I nodemon and fastify. Nodemon is the one which is used to you know used to restart the server whenever the server page is editor, and Fastify is the one is the framework of Node.js we are using to create our API. And to say that Fastify has more plugins like MySQL, MongoDB, and even more. With the help of those plugins, we can connect to them easily. You know, that's very great. And while installing it, the speed is depends upon the network. In my case, I have just some network issues, that's why it's getting too late. And yes, we have created our node modules and the dependencies are in it. And then we need to create a file called app.js in here, because our entry point is app.js. Make sure that entry point and the name you keep here is same. Okay, let's declare a constant variable. Naming conventions like, if you want you can keep anything. In my case I'll be using Fastify. If you want you can keep even app or anything like that. It will be required from Fastify. And okay, we'll start the server. How to start the server is here, like you need to start the server. Since the start is in promises, make sure to use an asynchronous function to use it. And we'll be having try catch block, and in try await Fastify dot listen port address dot. uh, yeah, I need to uh, declare a port variable. In my case I'll be using 5000. If you want you can use whatever you want. That's not an issue here. And I'm just consoling it. Console dot log server running on port and the port number. Here it is installed in port. And if we got an error we need to console it. We can console it by fastify dot log dot error and error. And we need to exit the process. We can exit the process like process dot exit. Once the if we got an error we need to exit the process, right? And we can call it over here to start our method. And that's all. And one more thing, you need to edit the package.json file, because you don't need the test scripts. No, here we need to have a start script, and that will be like node app.js, and development script, it will be like node mon app.js. And make sure that you have two dependencies, nodemon and fastify. To run this we can use the command. To run the server we can use the command npm run dev. It will be starting our server. In this case it will be running in 5000. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, it's starting the server. and we got the output as the server is running on the port. Yeah, okay, that's good. In this video, I'm going to use. I'm not going to use any MySQL data type or MySQL database or MongoDB or any other thing. To store that, I will be using a file called data items, and I can store the data in it. Data items.js, and I'm going to just let declare a variable called data items, and it's an array of items, so we can declare it in arrays of item objects. So the object may have id, and id is like 1, and name 2, and name it as whatever you want. In my case, I'm using Sam, and let's have another object too. Same with id as 2, and name as Raj, or whatever you want you can use. That's not an issue here. And okay, and we'll be exporting it. How to export is like module dot export equal to data items. That's it. Okay, it will be exporting the data items to the backend side where we are writing going to write our nodes. And next we need to create a route folder, routes, and we'll be creating a file called route.js in it. Router.js. Let's minimize this. Okay, router.js. Okay, we can create our routers by const router Fastify, done. And there are lots of methods to write a router. I thought this is the easy one, and it's easy to understand too. That's why I took this method. This is easy for me too. And let's get the request first. First request as Fastify dot get / get item, and as well as request and response, and arrow function callback, and I will be sending the response as response dot code. First of all, we need the code, right? In this case, it will be 200. 200 means it's okay sending the code, and we'll be sending it as data item, and yeah, it's already it is required through this. Okay, and once it is done, we can call the done, and we need to export it, right? We can export it right by module dot exports equal to router. First by we can get the get items list, and we'll go for the other APIs like post API and post request and delete request. If you are using our plugin, this is right. Router is called as a plugin in here. If you use our plugins, we need to register in Fastify. How you can register is Fastify dot register, and we'll be requiring it from the node modules. Sorry, the router, right? Routes / router. Yes, I think this should work. Yeah, we can see. Yeah, the port is running. With the help of Postman, we can do it. Just we can write HTTP get request is right, so we don't want to change it. So localhost, and my port address is 5000. In this case, in my case, it's 5000. If you are using another port address, you need to mention it here, and it will be like get items. I need to make sure that router. Get item or get items. You give a correct URL over here, and it will be, and I'm just sending it. So there will be no body or no authentication, and just I can send it. Yes, yeah, we get the data from this, right? We are having the data items as Sam and Raj, two data items, and we got two data items too. Next, we'll be writing a poster request. You can do it the same way. Fastify dot post slash add item, as well as request and response, arrow callback, and we can get that data from request.body. So I'll be using this method id command name. We can get it from request.body. Yeah, and I'm gonna push it to the data items dot push, and for id, since it is an object, it should be have a key value pair, and its id is same as id, and name should be same as name. Yes, and I'm gonna just send the response to the front end. Dot go 201. 201 is like creator. We are sending the code as creator, and send data items. Just make sure that you don't use const over here, because the const variable cannot be changed, so we can use let today, and just save it, and make sure that it's restarting. Node one is restarting server side. Okay, and we'll be creating a new post request over the postman. You can create it by name the method is post, and URL will be same, right? http slash local post 5000 slash add item. Make sure that I add item here and here are same. I think it's kept by yeah, it's here, and authentication will be no authentication. The header, we need to add a header like content type, and it should be of application by JSON1, and body, we need to use the body like id is to be 3, and name we can give it as whatever you want. In my case, they'll be giving RAM, and yeah, we can send the request to it. Oh, sorry, just I want to see that add item. I think my node one not started. So let's say npm there. Yeah, now it is started, and we can give this to. Yeah, we get the status as 201, and it's created, and the third one, the body, is also included in it. If you even go and get the get request where we have only 2 data in it, if you even call this request now, it will be updated as 3. And next one, we'll be creating a delete request fastify dot delete, and the URL will be like slash remove item, and same request and response and callback, and we'll be shifting data items. Shift method is the one which is used to remove the first item in the data list, where in case you can remove the last, you can use a pop method also. In my case, I'll be using shift, and we can just do rent to send the response as okay, and send data items. That's all, and we can check here like it's due to changing starting app. Come on, yeah, it's started, right? And we can create a new request over here, like it should be a delete request, right? So use delete and http local host 5000 slash remove item. That's all, isn't it? Authentication will be no authentication. Okay, and body will be none. Yeah, we can send it, right? Yes. Yeah. Over here it's like yeah. Over here we can remove that data item and it is removed, right? We'll have only ID and Raj. Sorry, ID is 2 and name is Raj. The first one is removed. I hope guys you enjoyed this. That's all. And if you want to have the database, MySQL or MongoDB, just let me know. I'll be creating a new one and I'll be posting for you. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you.